Imagine the scene of ancient Egypt. Thousands of people gather at the foot of a colossal pyramid, the sun scorching the desert sands, while the pharaoh stands proudly on a stone podium. With a booming voice, he points to the towering pyramid. "Foreigner from Miletus, they say you are wise. Prove it before Egypt. Tell us how tall this pyramid is. Without climbing, without tools, without magic. Fail, and you shall be the laughter of my people." The crowd roars with laughter, certain the challenge is impossible. How could a skinny stranger with nothing but a wooden staff solve a secret that even the priest declared belonged to the gods? But the man, Thales, remains calm. He is not a king, not a sorcerer, not a general. He is merely a philosopher from Miletus who believes in one thing: reason can outmatch power. Who was Thales before this tense moment? Thales was born in the city of Miletus, a bustling harbor on the coast of Ionia, ancient Greece. He was known as an olive oil merchant, a traveler, and a thinker with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Unlike most of his contemporaries who explained the world through myths of the gods, Thales believed the world could be understood through logic and observation. He was considered one of the 7 sages of Greece and is remembered as the father of Western philosophy. His journeys took him to Egypt, the center of knowledge and civilization at the time. There he studied astronomy, geometry, and the measurement techniques used by the pyramid builders. But Thales was not satisfied with merely copying knowledge. He wanted to prove that humans could conquer challenges, even surpass the boundaries set by kings. And the pharaoh's challenge became his perfect stage. Before the gathered people, the pharaoh sought not only to test, but to humiliate Thales. The priests smirked in satisfaction. They knew no one could determine the pyramid's height without climbing it. "Look at him," shouted a nobleman. "Even the workers who built it cannot give an exact number. How could this foreigner do it?" The shouts and jeers echoed. To the people, this was no mere riddle. It was a battle of Egypt's pride against an outsider. But Thales did not falter. He studied the pyramid closely, then thrust his staff into the ground. The crowd was puzzled. What was he doing? Thales gazed at the shadow of his staff stretching across the sand. He waited until the shadow's length matched the height of the staff itself. At that moment, he turned to the pyramid. "Now," he declared, "the shadow of the pyramid is equal to its height. Measure the pyramid's shadow, and you have the pyramid's height." The crowd fell silent. The method was astonishingly simple. He had not climbed, not used magic, but relied only on logical geometry. Thales had applied the principle we now know as Thales's theorem. Objects with the same angle will share the same ratio of sides. Whispers erupted into a roar. The people were awestruck by the elegance of his method. The nobles who mocked him now stood in silence. "How is this possible?" murmured a priest. "He has subdued the pyramid with nothing but a shadow." The pharaoh stiffened, his face tightening. What he thought an impossible challenge had been solved effortlessly. Yet beneath the sting of humiliation, there was also admiration. For the first time, the people of Egypt witnessed that a king was not the source of all answers. There was another force, the power of the human mind. What Thales did was no mere trick. He had shown that mathematics could unveil the secrets of nature without relying on power or myth. To those watching, it seemed like magic. How could a small staff and a shadow defeat the mystery of the pyramid? But this was the true power of geometry. With logic and simple observation, humans could conquer what once seemed impossible. Though impressed, the pharaoh could not allow himself to appear defeated before his people. He rose and declared loudly, "This foreigner is indeed wise, but remember, without Egypt, without the pyramid, he would have nothing to measure." The crowd's cheers split between awe and fear. Thales merely bowed respectfully, unshaken by the pharaoh's pride. In his heart, he knew one truth. That day, he had proven knowledge could rival power. The event became legend. Thales was remembered not just as a merchant or philosopher, but as the father of science. He opened the path for future minds. Pythagoras, Euclid, Archimedes all owed something to Thales, who first demonstrated that logic could transcend myth and authority. Imagine it, only with a wooden staff and sunlight, Thales humbled a king. From this story, we learn that knowledge does not belong to palaces or temples, but to anyone who dares to think. This tale is often regarded as a legend. Did Thales truly humiliate the pharaoh? We may never know for certain. But one thing is clear. Thales left behind a legacy greater than the pyramid itself, the legacy of rational thought. And here lies the twist. A king may lose his throne. A pyramid may crumble with time. But a simple idea from a philosopher can endure for thousands of years.